go. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's been a long 2 months, and a lot has gone on, but glad to be back. You're listening to the Area Attack podcast all the way from beautiful Oklahoma City. Springtime has hit, but hey, let's get this show on the road. Without further ado, it's my honor to have FanDuel's very own and one half of the Unsportsmanlike Conduct podcast, Gabb Goudy, on. And Gabb, first things first, thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule to come on the podcast and talk some football and some college basketball.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I mean, this is just a perfect night. What I have nothing else to do on this night. What is today? Wednesday? Rainy day in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes, absolutely. First day back for me, so of course, busy schedule, but a lot has gone on. Your kind of thoughts on the recap of the college basketball Final Four. Unfortunately, I did not get the privilege to watch the rest of the national championship game, but what a comeback from Kansas. And could we, is it, I shouldn't say safe to say, but could we easily see this national championship trophy being vacated here probably within the next few months or so?
um, you know,
I don't
who's
really
to
think
say?
so. Exactly. It's the biggest question I know here in Big 12 country. Everybody's like, well, that's just going to be vacated. I don't really know. And
Right.
honestly, if it is, it is. I don't,
Like, what ties
I
do I
don't
have to that?
exactly. I have no say. And personally, I would be better off without any say to it.
Yeah, same. Because I mean, like, my college ties are not very. It's just not very much. So that's what
No,
I'm working with.
no, exactly. No, I'm with you. And, you look at, so no, quick, Coach K, you heard the rumors, not really rumors, but more just hearsay. Coach K could be back. Coach K might not retire. Of course, he comes out to say, "Hey, I'm done coaching."
Yeah, I don't
Honest,
think he's gonna. I don't think he's. I don't think he's gonna come back.
I don't think so either. I think he's had his fun, his fun in the sun, and of course, class act guy. I don't know him personally from Adam, but I think he's well earned his retirement, and it's a
Oh, for sure.
disappointing way going out. Of course, losing to your rival, but we all can't have it our
Losing to
way.
your
But
rival twice.
exactly.
Ugh, right.
And I think that's a lot of why people think maybe he'll come back, but I don't.
I don't think
I
he
don't
will.
see it.
Like, you did all that. Don't do a Tom Brady. Don't pull Tom Brady.
Oh, don't go Tom Brady. Well, also, Brett Favre done it. What was it? Three, 4 times.
Yeah, but like he's something else. Brett Favre is something else. I don't even want to go into that, but he that's on brand for him. You know?
No, I agree. No, I don't see Coach K coming back. When I read the article, I don't remember who posted Bleacher Report. Somebody did, and was like strictly, "Hey, Coach K may not be done after." Like, no, he's done. And if he's not, then he's not. Then he fooled us all. But I don't see the farewell tour being a part two like we see in some of these, these music artists and Tom Brady, which we'll obviously get to here
Yeah.
momentarily. But great Final Four though.
Oh, for sure. The women's was great too.
Oh yes,
That was
oh
pretty entertaining
yes.
too. South Carolina, shout out to them.
Lady Gamecocks. I think this team could do something. You know,
Yeah.
and UConn.
They had a great run
Gee,
too.
man, I like the fact that women's basketball, used to be what Tennessee ran it for years with Pat Summitt,
Mhm.
Gina Omerera or whatever you say his last name. Coach Gene, had his fun with the UConn Huskies. It's great to see different teams winning it because it used to be what UConn and Tennessee, and that's about
Yep.
what it
And
was.
now we're getting some new people in there, and it's really fun to see. And
I
it's fun to see
enjoy
the
it.
women get more love.
Women's basketball, especially college, even the WNBA, but especially college ranks. I think it was 2020 is when the video was surfaced about how they were treated, and rightfully so. That was pretty piss
Yeah.
poor. But it's great that they get the respect. And I don't know. I think they filled the arenas more than the men did this year.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And all their games were entertaining. And there was a bunch of people hating on them, saying, "Oh, women's basketball is not very entertaining." Every game I watched was really good. So that's all I gotta say.
Just because they can't dunk doesn't mean nothing.
Right.
I mean, a lot of this, that's a whole topic. But
Mm-hmm.
women's basketball in college, I think, has gotten a lot better over the last ten
Yeah, I
years than
think
it
so
has
too.
been. Here in Oklahoma, I know they only look at football, but there's other sports, women's sports, but I think in general is better than half these men's teams are. But why, I'm coming from I kind of want to get your thought on that. Why is women's sports just not getting the respect like it really
I
should?
just I just feel like, well, to be honest, men's sports have been around way longer.
Right.
And I don't know, I think some men just get a little scared when women can do things that they can do and do it better. So I think that might be why.
I like that. I like that thought. Um, a lot of NFL talk to get to. Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah. Tom Brady.
Man. What was your first reaction when you got, I'm sure, the notification of someone telling you, hey, Tom
Mhm.
Brady's coming back for his 20 millionth season, seems like. I think it's 23. When Tom Brady's coming out of quote unquote retirement, what was your first thought on
I
Tom
said I'm
Brady
not
coming back?
surprised. I said I'm not surprised. I knew this was gonna happen. I feel like that's just so on brand for him. That's just Tom Brady. Like, I think he did it because he was being a sore loser. After he lost to the
Ooh,
Rams, he thought that they were gonna win again. He thought they were gonna walk right in there, take it to a Super Bowl again, win another Super Bowl, ride off into the sunset and close it out. And then he didn't. And after the game, he was like complaining a little bit, sounding like a sore loser. I'm like, he's gonna retire. He's gonna be a little baby and be dramatic and then come back. And that's what he did. I like Tom Brady, but I mean, it's just that's who he is.
it was disappointing. I shouldn't say disappointing, but I'm probably still go with it. If you knew you probably 110% was not all in retirement, at least you could have took a few months off, but like, hey, let me think about this and I'll
Well,
get back with you.
he had to be back before free agency. So that's why I had to come out of retirement when he did. So people would come to his team.
Tom.
I know he's something.
I respect him.
Oh, for sure, I respect
Um,
him.
I'm just not a huge fan of him, and I'm not saying that because even though he's got one of the worst records against Denver, but I just I guess he's that player
I
you love to hate.
Right, like because I'm a LeBron stan
Hmm.
through everything, and I feel like everyone feels the same about like. I feel like if you like Tom Brady, you probably hate LeBron, and if you like LeBron, you kind of respect Tom Brady, but a lot of people also hate him.
That's a fair. Yeah, I could see that. I think that's a fair argument or even statement.
Yeah,
I think
just
he's one of those
very
players.
similar. Yeah.
How? Okay, let's just say this real quick on Tom. Do you think he's what 40? I think he's 43, 44, something like that. Do you really think he could get to 50? I know he mentioned a few years ago.
Man, I don't think. Do you think so? I don't really think so.
I hope.
I think he has like what 2 more years, and I said he had 3 last year, so I would say like 2 more years.
Um, guess somebody's saying, all right. Um, I would say, I think 2 years. I was really excited when he announced that he was done, but I would say 2 years for Tom. I think he's trying to get enough rings to where he knows nobody's going to outwin the
I don't
ring,
think anybody
which I don't
will.
think no, exactly. I don't
Yeah, I
think
don't think
anybody's
anybody
going to.
will.
If
I
anybody
don't think
was, it would be
anybody will.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and people need to be a little kinder to Patrick Mahomes. I think people are being ridiculous with their Patrick Mahomes takes. I think.
like the take on how he's going to suffer without Tyreek Hill, even
I
though his
mean,
stats is a whole lot better without him.
sure, it helps when you have Tyreek Hill on the field, but he's still really good.
Oh, he's phenomenal.
So I feel like they're gonna be fine.
Kansas City's going to suffer a little bit, but I
Yeah.
think they're better off without him. I mean, of course they're going to lose that, that deep
Hmm.
threat with Hill and the speedster that he is, but I think I think Tyreek Hill's going to unfortunately suffer more down
Oh,
in
for sure.
Miami than he
Oh
would than
yeah. With Tua,
Kansas City.
he's gonna be upset after the first overthrow. The first throw that doesn't even make it there, the first pick, he's gonna pull an Antonio Brown and walk off. I
Chunk the
really just
deuces.
I really just don't think it's gonna I don't think it's gonna be I don't think it's gonna be good.
Well, and also, people fail to realize Mike McDaniel's offense, he's strictly heavy run. He's a run
Mhm.
first guy kind of guy. So he might get irritated enough to throw the football at Mike McDaniel, ball chunk the deuces, and that's
Right,
and
like,
that's
I don't know, like, I don't know what he's thinking. I mean, I get it, the money. The money is it. He wants to be the highest paid, and he damn sure did that.
oh, absolutely.
Right, so, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be that fun for him. Like, what are they gonna finish, 500?
Ooh.
They probably won't make the playoffs either. But he already
No,
has a
because
ring, so I don't think that really matters to him, you know?
I think I could see Tyreek Hill being that. I hate saying this, but I really hope I'm wrong. I could see Tyreek Hill being an off the field issue down in Miami.
Yeah, I really don't know what's gonna happen with him. He's out of control. I like him. I would love him on my team. Think he would do
Oh,
well in Cleveland,
absolutely.
Ohio, but I just don't think that he's gonna have the best time with the Dolphins, and I don't think the Dolphins are gonna be that good.
I don't think so either. I still think they're the third best team in the East.
Yeah, I would
Um,
probably say so. Me and them and the Patriots are gonna go back and forth a little bit, but the Bills are significantly better than all the other three, so
oh, by far.
there's not even a chance. Like, the Bills are so good. I'm like a low key Bills fan, so I
How can you not hate or like Josh Allen? I'm just trying to say hate. How can you
right.
not like Josh Allen?
Josh Allen's awesome.
With Tyreek, that dog's get my nerves. With Tyreek Hill, with Tyreek Hill gone, is this the year that Josh Allen can finally get, or not
Oh,
just
yeah.
him, but
Oh my
Buffalo
god, yes.
itself?
Yes, this is Josh Allen's MVP year. Josh Allen MVP. I wanna put, like, a lot of money on it. See, I'm not gonna do that because I don't really bet that often. I work
Right.
for this way, FanDuel.
Hmm.
I don't bet that often, but I feel like that's a really good bet because I it's his year. I feel like it's gonna be, "Ooh, Tom Brady's gonna get MVP because so he can retire." But that'll be lame. Give it to Josh Allen. Josh Allen's better.
No, I think Josh. I think, dog. I think, I think this is their year. I still thought
But
last year was their year, but
every time has been their year and then it hasn't been. I feel bad for Bills fans. Can I ask you a question?
oh, absolutely.
Which would you rather? Lose 4 Super Bowls in a row or never be in a Super Bowl ever?
They always say it's good just to get there. I like that, but I don't like that
Right,
because
because 4
it makes
hurts.
no sense. 4 in a row, I just think I really pissed off God at that point.
Right, what did I do to deserve that? Like 4 in a row. I would rather never because I mean, my team's never been to a Super Bowl and I mean, it sucks, but I don't have to feel bad for not winning one.
I I'd rather be, and I'm not a Browns fan. I like the Browns. I have nothing against them, truthfully. Um, I would rather in that to answer your honest question, I would probably not make it because if I knew I was gonna lose 4 in a row,
That sucks.
I'm not gonna kill myself, but I would definitely,
It'd just
definitely,
not be good. You
I
would
would
not
definitely
have
question my sports
yeah, like, the
fan
mentals would
privilege.
be low, morale would be low, everything would be like, I just I feel bad for them. Man, they have to win one soon to break that curse. Buffalo would go crazy.
That city would absolutely riot.
I would go to that parade.
Buddy,
Buffalo's
my
Buffalo's not
go
very
ahead.
far from me. So, I mean, I'd just get in the car and go.
I could see you being there though. I could see
That'd be so
that.
sick. That'd be
The
so. Buffalo's
tables.
only 2.5 hours from Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Get in the car, pack my bags, wave at Josh Allen on the float with his MVP, regular season MVP, and MVP Super Bowl trophy. So, yeah.
A buddy of mine, Kyle, he lives in that area, and he's a I'm talking diehard. He's got a sleeve of tattoos of all of
Yeah,
his
they're
favorite
crazy.
teams, and man, I think literally that dude would cry, rightfully so, if they would ever win.
Dude, I would cry if the Browns ever won a Super Bowl. I mean, I don't even know if I'm allowed to be a fan of the Browns anymore, but I would cry if they won a Super Bowl. So,
How many tables? I know we're just talking Buffalo. How many tables do you think they're going to break in the Super Bowl parade? Because eventually they're going to get there. It's just when.
that's a big number. The city will probably say no tables, for like safety. But I know people would still do it. I'm sure they're gonna say no tables. Because people tell us for the Muni line in Cleveland, they're like, you're not allowed to drink in there. But the amount of beers that are left there every single weekend, that's all I gotta say. So
I like that. They banned banned the whole city of Buffalo from buying tables.
I'm sure that they would probably do that. They'd probably say, you cannot have them here because it's a liability to everyone's well-being. But they'll still show up with them. I mean, when Cleveland had their parade, it was chaos. So, could only imagine.
Speaking of chaos, I'm going to really pick your brain on this one.
Oh, no.
Cleveland.
Here we go.
Like I said, of course, I'm going to be a little Homer Baker. Of course, being from Oklahoma, I'll be a little Homer on that one.
Are you a Baker stan?
I love Baker. I like his swag.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I say things about him on the internet all the time.
I think, what's funny is, like, I think a lot of it is actually spot on and kind of rephrase people. So real quick, I know it has nothing to do with Baker, but just kind of fill you in. So everybody thinks that me trashing Joe, I'm not a Joe Burrow fan at all. I just don't. I know. A lot of people think because Joe Burrow practically beat up on Oklahoma back in whenever that was, 2, 3, 4 years ago. That has nothing to do with it. I just don't think he's going to be a solid QB in the NFL. He proved me wrong this past season, fair enough. But it's just one season.
I don't think he's ever going to see a Super Bowl again.
Oh, I don't think so. I think it's a fluke year.
I don't think he's ever going to either. I don't think. I like Joe Burrow. I don't hate Joe Burrow. I've seen Joe Burrow play sports my whole entire life. We played him in high school. So, I mean, I don't dislike him. He's just always beat my teams except for the Browns for some reason. I don't know why. But he's always, I've seen him, like, we didn't play him in football, but we played him in basketball in high school.
Right.
So, he's been around. It's been around my life for a while.
I like Baker. The thing I don't like Baker on is I think he's over the hump, but then he has a few setbacks.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I think he talks too much.
That's a lot of his issue.
I think it's the talking.
Can't be quiet.
Yeah, no. And I understand because I also like to talk a lot. I do. If someone's telling me the wrong thing, I like to say something back. No one likes when people disagree with you or don't think you're good at something. But I'm also not a quarterback in the NFL. So. But I think that he's just really doing it to himself at this point. Like, he needs to maybe just not do all the things that he's doing. And then, like, maybe someone will be like, hey, we'll give you another chance to prove what you can do. And I feel bad because, like, he was very, very good college quarterback, one of the best college quarterbacks of all time. And that should never be discredited to him. But, man, has it been a wild 4 years?
of course, we don't know what Cleveland's gonna do.
Yeah.
What do you, from a Brown standpoint and from a fan standpoint, on your side? Of course, you're closer to Cleveland. You're really close, obviously,
Mhm.
hearsay compared to everybody else in the country. What's what's the feel like in Cleveland? Of course, Deshaun Watson, which
Yep.
I don't like
Yep.
that, but whatever. That's a whole other topic.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't like that. But what's eventually are they eventually going to trade Baker? Let's just get out there. Are they eventually going to trade him, or what's the plan with? Of course, because Deshaun Watson with his contract, he's not going anywhere anytime soon.
I don't think there's any chance that Baker Mayfield ever plays again for the Cleveland Browns. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
And he's never going to see that. He will lock out himself before he steps on that field. I mean, I think they will eventually trade him, but they're going to have to take some of his salary. They're going to have to eat some of that salary. I think someone's going to get desperate after the draft or during the draft and be like, "Hey, maybe we should do it." Everyone's saying like Carolina, but if you're Carolina,
Mhm.
again, no offense to Baker and no offense to Sam Darnold, but why would you want two people from the same draft that are both very similar?
Yep.
So that's the part that's just like I don't understand. I just don't know what's going to happen. When he like put the notes app out, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he did that because they thought that this would give him leverage and then that he could go to Indiana. He thought that he was going to have a say where he was going to go.
Yep.
But then they said, we want 50-year-old Matt Ryan. That has to suck.
That's got to be a slap in the face.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, he's a Colts fan. I'm happy for him because they get a veteran
Mhm.
quarterback that's been there. Of course, didn't win it, but um, I'm not sold on that one. I thought
I don't
both
know either.
sides
They're just
gave
in
up.
this cycle of has-beens. You know,
We're
Phil
getting
Rivers, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan.
Carson Wentz has to be jinxed. You want to talk about now? Talk about we're talking about Buffalo. If you're
Oh,
Carson
God.
Wentz, man, you're coming in hot from North Dakota State, and
You're
you're
almost
top.
MVP.
You're almost MVP. Now you're literally being swapped around
Man,
yearly
I
at
hope.
this rate.
I'm rooting for him, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
He's in a better division. I mean,
Yes.
besides, so I mean, if he can get some breaks here and there, he might win a few extra games for
Right.
Washington.
I think they'll be okay. I mean, he was fine with the Colts. Like they were fine. He just literally shit himself in the last game against the Jags. And he was putting up a good season before that. Like everyone's talking about him saying, "Oh, he turns the ball over. He has so many interceptions." He only had 7 all year.
Mm-hmm.
But he just doesn't really throw as much as other people. However, he only had 7 and maybe it'll turn around. I don't know. But for Baker, also don't know. I feel like his only option is Seattle, and I don't know if they're going to do it.
I was thinking Seattle just simply because you don't legit have a quarterback out there.
Right. But what would you rather have? Would you rather have Drew Lock, who everybody likes in a locker room, or Baker Mayfield, who has like baggage plus money?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, one's better than the other, obviously.
Contract amount cheaper for Pete Carroll and the Seahawks. Obviously, is Drew Lock
Mm-hmm.
because he's still in his rookie contract, which I
Maybe
believe
tank for
expires
better
this year.
QB class, you know?
Exactly. And you got Bryce Young on the horizon for this 23 class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have CJ Stroud in that class too. I mean, Ohio
Mm-hmm.
State quarterbacks I know, but like he's really good.
I think CJ Stroud would be the better of the bunch.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't know where he goes. What about Tampa backing up Tom Brady?
See, I don't know if he could do that. That's my other issue. Do you think he could put it aside and be a backup?
Well, you got one year. At least he's going to have to be if he does.
I know, but then I just feel like that's beneath him at this point.
Well, I think it would. I think that's his attitude. But no, I'm not going to be backing nobody up. I'm
But I
Baker
feel like Tom Brady
Mayfield,
would
but
be a great place to go to.
boy, you want to talk about learning? I think
Right.
he'd be a great mentor for Baker.
I think so too. He'd be like, put the phone down, shut up, get out there. I feel like Tom Brady's tough, you know? Like he would say that to you. He doesn't care. The way he yells at his linemen,
Oh my God.
yeah, he's a mean guy sometimes. Him and Bruce Arians both, like both of them act like that. So I don't know why he's capping saying that Bruce Arians is mean. He does it too.
I'm gonna miss Bruce Arians on that sideline.
Yeah, he bullied him out.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
He really did.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Russell Wilson.
Yes.
Obviously, a home run trade. I think a lot of people I know on my
Mhm.
side said that Denver gave up a lot. In my opinion, and I kind of want to get your thoughts on that. My opinion is, let's be honest, John Elway lacked quarterback drafting quarterbacks, I should say. But I think Denver, just as a whole, had no choice but to go all in to get this quarterback
Right.
into Denver and try to put together a team that can at least make the playoffs, at least get there first, and then
Go
see
from
what
there,
happens
yeah.
from there. But your thought, who obviously Denver, I believe, in my opinion, won, even though Seattle got a ton of picks.
Mhm.
Overall, at the end of the day, I think I made an argument. I made a statement to somebody. I said it's either going to make or break um, George Payton's career as a GM, one way or another. What's your thoughts on that Russell Wilson trade from Seattle to Denver, and how that could affect this offense that has the potential to be something? They just got to stay healthy, first of all.
I think the trade's really good for the Broncos. I mean, Russell Wilson is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I know like last year was whatever, but I don't think he wanted to be there and I don't think he really cared. And he knew he was gone anyway, so he's like, whatever, I'm out. I think it's gonna be really good for him. That photo of him and Sierra with their kids, I
Oh
love that photo. That
man,
photo is so good. Like you look at that photo and you're like, that guy is serious and he's gonna win some games. That was so good. That was the cutest thing I've ever seen. But yeah, I think it's really good for the Broncos. I mean, that whole division though, ridiculous. The whole division is ridiculous. From the Raiders to the Chiefs, even though they are getting rid of players, I don't care. They're still good. The whole division is really, really good, and that's going to be really fun to watch those teams play each other twice all season.
that AFC West is really, really going to be a tough one. I think quarterback wise is really going to be fun. You got Derek Carr out at Vegas, and of course Justin Herbert, which I'm a huge fan of. Of course, out in LA, and of course Pat Mahomes. Who can't, why can't anybody like him? I don't know. And then, of course, Russell Wilson. I think Denver can do something. They got some big defensive players. Of course, Randy Gregory from Dallas, and I think they can do something. But that West is going to be loaded.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough.
Speaking of the the Rams. What's Do you like the chances of repeat? Of course, Aaron Darnold coming back. Of course, many thought he was going to retire, but not so much. What's your chance, or what's your thoughts on the Rams trying to repeat? Repeating's, of course, tough, but you like their chances or not so much?
I like their chances. The NFC is really weak. The NFC is like kind of trash. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
Who's the only team in their way? The Bucks. They beat them. They could probably do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anyone else being competitive with them, to be honest. I mean, Packers, Cowboys, we see what happens with them. So I think if they don't make it to at least the NFC Championship, I think their season is a bust.
Ooh.
I would make that statement. I would go with that because who's gonna I mean the 49ers, okay, I keep forgetting about them. But I don't see them doing it either. I would say NFC Championship or bust for the Rams
Oh,
because not that many are going to compete with you.
I like that. I would probably, if I bet, and I don't bet much, but if I did, I probably would take that one. because you look at it this way, the NFC East, there's nobody in that lineup that I would sit there and say would have a prayer of making a the Super Bowl, and don't dare tell me Dallas because they can't
Right. We see what happens
wait.
there every time they're there.
we they can't figure out when not to run it, when to run out of bounds when they should. Dak Prescott, but anyway,
Hmm.
so
That was
you
bad.
look
I
at the
forgot that even happened. That was so long ago.
man, that was bad. The fact that he thought he still had to play is like, no, dude, you done. Um,
Hmm.
NFC South, there's nobody in Atlanta's in rebuilding mode. Carolina's no threat. Tampa would be your biggest one. New Orleans, I'm not really concerned about. And then you look at your North, which is whatever. And so, of course, Green Bay, you got Aaron Rodgers who signed, then he lost his best buddy to Las Vegas. So I don't really see much a threat of them. I think I would take that. I know I'm high on Arizona, but they disappointed me last year. They started off hot and they just fizzled.
Yeah. They they gave me Steelers vibes. Steelers the year before.
Ooh, Baker to no, because that's a rivalry. I was gonna say Baker to Pittsburgh, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah. I don't see it happening either. I okay. So I put out. Why are you laughing? I put out a graphic, and I put out a graphic. It was of Baker Mayfield in a Steelers jersey. It was just for fun, you know. Like it was
Right.
just for fun. I was saying like how many games would he win? I did not say anywhere in this thing. Did not say once. Baker Mayfield to the Steelers rumors. I said how many games would he win if he were the quarterback? And they started talking about this on Pittsburgh radio. People were putting out reports. They're like, well, people were saying that the Steelers are talking to, and I'm like, what the hell did I do?
You
And
started something.
everyone was so mad. And I was like, guys, I just asked a question. You guys took it for something it's not.
hmm
Oh, that was bad. But then Duck Hodges quote tweeted it and he was like, I'm the real number 6. That guy sucks. It was a mess. It was a mess. And I felt bad. But I just wanted to know how many games they thought he would win with them.
6 or 7.
Yeah, and it turned real bad real fast.
That would be it
Yeah.
for me.
I would not like if he would play for the Steelers. I would worry about his well-being. Myles Garrett, mm-mm.
Miles Garrett ripped his head off.
We've seen what he has done. So,
Yeah. Ask Mason
who's to
Rudolph,
say?
he knows.
Yeah, he really does. He really does know.
Pittsburgh. Interesting. That'd be hilarious though if that actually happened. But you do realize, everybody believes everything that's on the internet. So I'm sure you made one Pittsburgh Steeler fan really, really happy until they realized that it was just for shits and giggles.
Right. And then I felt bad. I was like, sorry, guys.
Go switching gears. Speaking of shits and giggles, LeBron. Of course, he's disappointed. The LeBron will be sitting at home this year, and the Westbrook and AD and what went wrong in LA besides a lot of injuries, of course, with Anthony Davis and LeBron, of course, poor play by Russ. The list goes on. What went, in your opinion, went wrong with the Lakers this year as to why they are now will be sitting at home here sometime in the next week or two?
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone thought Russell Westbrook was going to be that bad.
No.
So that has a lot to do with it. I really do feel bad for him because the things people are saying about him are a little bit beyond basketball. I do feel bad because he's been terrible. The things that they're saying are not cool. I don't know. It's just really a group of grandpas out there trying to
Mhm.
compete with 20-year-olds. I just don't think that's going to work. Like LeBron is playing significantly better than the other 40-year-olds he's trying to bring to his team. I mean, like it's LeBron James. He's really good. He's the only reason that they win games at all. So, I think that's where they went wrong. But no one else would go there with him, so I guess it might have been the only options. But I think a better option would be if he came back to Cleveland.
I could see, and I was thinking about that. I think it was yesterday. I could see something where LeBron finishes out his career in Cleveland just to kind of
I would love it.
end it.
I would love that.
I
I
think
know
it's
a
a
lot of
fair thing to
people.
the fans.
Yeah, I think a lot of people hate on him. My thing with LeBron, sorry, I'm just ranting about LeBron,
No, you're good.
but my thing that like makes me upset why people hate on him. So when you're an athlete, you don't choose where you're going. You know,
Nope.
you're not choosing which team is getting you. And most of the time, which is almost always the time, you don't go where you're from. You're not going to a team where you grew up. And it just so happens he grew up here, we drafted him here, and then everyone felt like that he betrayed us. But at the same time, he was doing things that he thought were better for his career. And I'm sure if they were in the same situation, they would do it too. It just so happens he's a professional athlete that plays for Cleveland, Ohio, that's from here. I think that's where a lot of the hate comes from. And a lot of people are just mean. But he did give us a championship. So,
I thought that was well deserved. I was happy to see Cleveland get that. Of course, after the decision show, what 3 4 years prior to that, so it was meant to be, and hopefully he can. I'm not saying he'll be back in Cleveland. So
mhm.
anybody listening out there, don't think I'm saying, oh, he's going to go back to Cleveland. I don't want you guys starting to tweet that, but by any means, I think I think that'd be cool to see him finish out in Cleveland. I know a lot of people saying he wants to play 1 year with the
With
Sun.
his son, but is his son that good?
I don't know. Or just go off of footage of him playing against other kids. They say he's hot stuff, but it's kind of hard to sit there and say you're anything when you're playing against kids. I'm sure that's nowhere near talented as his son is. I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Bronny, I hope for the best, but he's just is he that good to be drafted? Is my thing. Who's to say?
I don't know.
I don't really watch high school basketball,
I don't either. Mm-mm.
nor
All
keep
I
up
do
with
is
any
watch highlights.
prospects.
That's the worst thing I do. I do not. That's one thing I don't do because we and same thing in college football. You watch all these prospects film and they just turn out to be crappy players that never see the field.
Hmm.
So no, hopefully Bronny does well. I mean, I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know what his intentions are. Of course, he's got to do that at least that 1 year school college thing. So I don't know. How that's going to work out, but hopefully he can. I don't know. Hopefully he can be good and hopefully play with his dad. But if anything, we'll see. But we're talking Tom Brady. How, of course, basketball more up and down court nonstop compared to football, where you're on the sideline at least getting some breaks, unless you're, um, the Detroit Lions or the Jacksonville Jaguars. But
Yeah.
you, how many years realistically do we see LeBron in the NBA left? Because it's starting to
Mm.
show to an
I mean,
extent.
I don't know. He's putting up 30 points every single night. Maybe like 3 more years. The
Now,
day
how
he
old is
retires, I'll cry. Yeah, I'll be really sad. And it's not going to be a good day for me. But I'd say maybe like 3. How many more years does he have with the Lakers? 2? 1? I don't
I
know.
think it's let me see real quick. I could now here's a thought for you. Kind of just play conspiracy theorist, be kind of cool though. What if LeBron and Tom Brady retired on the same day?
Oh, that'd be way too much. No, I can't have Tom Brady ruining my GOAT's day. No way. No chance. No shot. No way. No way in hell is LeBron James going to let Tom Brady, nor Tom Brady going to let LeBron James take their day away from each other.
This is the answer to your question. This is his final year on his contract with the Lakers.
So he's coming to Cleveland after that one. Gotcha. So like 2 more years, 3 years.
Let's see, 22, 23 with LA. Yeah, I would say probably 2 years. Probably what? So we won about 3 more years. I think that's a safe bet. Because what class is his son is Bronny in? Do we know?
Um, no. See, got
See, that's the
nothing.
thing. I know I don't either. Um, Brawny, I guess is there we go. Let's see. He's 17, but that means nothing. Um, so roughly senior-ish, junior-ish, I'm guessing. If he's 17, of course, doesn't say. Let's see. Yeah, there's okay. He's a class of 23, so he's a junior.
Oh, so
So that'd be
one.
yeah, that put him at that 3 range.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 4 because unless he can somehow skip the college thing and go straight to the pros,
Right, do the little G League.
the G League thing, yeah. Which I could see that because if his focus is on basketball, he'll just skip the college and go to G League and I guess from G League to the NBA. But that would still put him at about 3 years for LeBron, 4 years if you want to do Bronny in there. But and I think you made a good point and even mentioned it as who says that Bronny even gets to play with
Right.
his dad?
Yeah,
For all I
like
know,
who's
he
to say
may
that?
he may get drafted by the Knicks. I don't know.
Yeah, who's to say he even goes there? It just seems like one of those stories that is just really supposed to happen, though. Lame, but it might. We'll see.
It'd be cool for 1 year just to kind of see how that happens, kind of pass the torch. But I agree with you. We don't know how good Bronny is, and it's high school.
Hmm.
I don't follow it, one. And two, a lot of
Also,
his
I think he'd
kids.
rather be a gamer. He's like, like FaZe Clan, whatever the heck it's called.
Mm-hmm.
He's in that.
Is he?
Yeah. There was a picture of him and Kyler together. So,
Nice. Hmm. Speaking about last thing with the NBA, who's your favorite to win it this year?
see, I don't know. I really don't know. I like the Bucks again.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Sixers. I like the Suns. I like the Grizzlies, but I don't want them to win because that's what I want the Cavs to be. I want the Cavs to be what the Grizzlies are, and we were for a little bit. We're not there yet. So, have beef with them because they're stealing our thunder. But that's what I got. That's what I got for the teams.
I like the Grizzlies. They remind me a lot of the late 90s, early 2000 King teams.
Yeah, they're just really fun.
They are.
They're really fun. Jaws electric, literally just flying around everywhere.
Jaw, I think, is going to be a stud for many, many years. I just like that team. I think they have a chance. I mean, I think any team has a legit chance, I guess, but they they could make a run. I like the Suns. Golden State kind of rings. I know we've seen them win before many times, but I think you gotta maybe throw them out there. Denver, they always choke though. In the East, I like the Bucks, and
The Bucks
my
just feel like why not?
you can't. I mean, Giannis is just you can't go against Giannis.
Giannis is the best player in the league.
Oh, by far.
He won't win MVP, but he is the
No.
best player in the league.
Now he could easily win MVP in the NBA Finals, if of course they get there and win it. But I don't know. I think the field this year is wide open. I haven't watched much, unfortunately, like I wanted to. But I think Giannis. I think the Bucks can make a run. The Nets. I don't know if they even get in. I think they're sitting in that play-in right now. But
we are playing them. We're gonna play the Nets. We're gonna play the Nets in the play-in, and I don't like it. And I don't want to play the Nets at home and Kyrie Irving roasts us. I don't want that to happen. Oh, I don't want that to happen. That'd be miserable.
it's meant to happen.
Right.
It's those sports conspiracy.
It'd be so bad. Like I just want to beat Kyrie because he said so many mean things about us.
Why do you think certain fan bases just and kind of bring up Buff, not really bring it back up Buffalo, but you mentioned that they said so many bad things about Cleveland. Do you think certain fan bases are just get bad luck sometimes because like Chicago, the Cubbies took
Oh,
them
I hate
106.
them. Hate them. They won right down the street.
Yep.
Screw them. Ah, I hate the Cubs. They ruined my day. They really ruined it.
It took them a million years to
Hmm.
win one. Now they suck since, so I don't know why anybody thought that was not a. So obviously they're still cursed to an extent. But do you think certain fan bases are just not really cursed, but it feels like
Yes.
that's what they are?
100% I'm a Browns fan. Yes. Yep, 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 yep. See, what I'm saying is we just got a superstar quarterback, but at what cost
Mm-hmm.
did we get him? Why can't we just get a regular superstar quarterback?
Yep.
Why couldn't out of all the times we've ever drafted a quarterback have someone a superstar?
Mm-hmm.
Like this would be the only way that the Browns would win games. Oh my god, it's just so on brand. It's not even funny at this point. It's what it is. Terrible.
You could
I
be a
do
Knicks
have
fan though.
hey, I do have some beef with Oklahoma fans though for one reason.
Oh, I want to hear this one. I want to see.
For one reason. One, well, there's two. They keep saying Cleveland's a shithole, which is mean. Because
Why are they even saying that? I'm kind of curious. Is that
because
because of Baker?
because of
Oh
Baker.
Jesus.
They keep saying Cleveland's a shithole, no one wants to live there, and I'm like, no offense to Oklahoma, but like, is it any better there? Is it? I don't know. I've never been.
Well, let's be honest. If it wasn't if it wasn't for Bob Stoops, I don't forget about Lincoln Riley. If it wasn't for if it wasn't for Bob Stoops, he's the one from Ohio, Youngstown, Ohio. First of
See,
all,
oh, thank you for giving me that information. Now I can use that against them.
yeah, he took a Ohio kid because he grew up and he was born and raised in Youngstown. His
Mhm.
dad was a Youngstown high school coach for many years. I think he passed away on the sideline. But anyway, so the point of it is, it took a Ohio kid to resurrect the Oklahoma program that was practically a shithole and a shit place
And
for
I'm sure
practically the
Oklahoma's
early
fine.
90s all the way to 99.
Yeah, so they kept saying that. They kept saying that Cleveland, Ohio is a shithole. They kept like roasting the city because of this man. And then I made a poll. I made a poll that said, "Where would you rather live, Cleveland, Ohio, or
So
Norman?"
that is why I saw that. So I was kind of wondering where that came from. I'm like, this is interesting.
That's where it came from. I was being petty. I'm like, I don't hate on either place. I'm sure either place is fine.
Yeah, there's not much to do though here.
But I was like, why are you hating on this city? Everybody hates on it. It's actually really nice. But every time someone comes here, they're like, oh, I had so much fun. I'm like, well, yeah, no shit. It's not like there's nothing to do here. There's a lot to do. So that was my first reason. My second reason is they said before 3 years ago, the Browns didn't have any fans. The only fans are here because of Oklahoma. And I said, guys,
Oh God.
we threw a parade when we went 0-16. There was a lot of
Hmm.
people there. So knock it off. That's my beef. Those are my only two. Any other reason they have to hate us, sure. So be it. But those two, no. Can't have them.
Oh God.
They were mean. They were being really mean.
Well, that does not surprise me. We, for some reason, unfortunately, have the cruelest fans. We do have passionate fans, but the most cruelest fans. But yeah, definitely use that. That took a Ohio kid to resurrect the Oklahoma program because, well, it was. So we were in the dirt, and I like how though. Kind of bring that up. I like how all of a sudden when you have Cleveland, and I'm guaranteed wherever Baker goes, that whole fan base is gonna go. I'm gonna go Seattle wherever he ends up at. If he does end up anywhere, he may end up in the FCF. I don't know. But it's kind of funny that everybody travels with that one play. Now all of a sudden they're a certain fan base, but Oklahoma fans. I'm a Sooner fan, but it gets. I kind of feel bad because a lot of us aren't that type. It's like you guys are ruining this
Well, I mean, they're
because
just the ones that are really loud, they stand out more.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely.
So
They're
it's
the
with
ones that
it's every fan base.
look at Dallas. They still think it's 1995.
Yeah, they watch their Super Bowls on VHS tapes. So that's where they are. I'm out of
Well,
control today.
you're good. I will say I had Cleveland. Um, was it? It wasn't last year. It must have been the year prior to. Within the last 3 years, it was one of the years. I don't remember which one. Don't think it was COVID year. It might have been. Oh well. The point of it is, I had Cleveland winning the Super Bowl one of those years. I just don't remember which one it was.
I
But
just never got them to win the Super Bowl. It's best it was not.
here's what's going to happen. I'll mark it maybe 30 years from now when it's in the archives because podcasting will probably go some digital platform at that point, some other way of doing it. 30 years from now when it's archived, when the Browns make the Super Bowl, they'll be playing the Lions.
That would be so cool.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be so cool. I really like Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell, I think he'll get that team going.
Oh,
I
for
really like
sure.
Dan Campbell.
Yeah, he is a fun guy.
Now, see, I would run through a wall for him.
Yeah, he is like he's actually just everything he says phenomenal.
Oh, that dude is a if he doesn't motivate you, you're I don't know, you're on something because he's spot on. But what was I going to ask you? Oh, speaking of Cleveland,
Mm-hmm.
touchy subject, but kind of it still irritates me. Deshaun Watson, and I think I was on a Time to BS podcast many times with a good friend of mine, Dan and John, and we always talk about it and kind of want to get it from a different standpoint, from a female standpoint, because from a guy's standpoint, even though it's all pissy and shitty, and I still think he shouldn't be playing, just along with Tyreek Hill and
Right.
a lot of other players. Why are from well, two questions. First off, your thoughts on Deshaun Watson. Unfortunately, I'm not blaming Cleveland, but that's unfortunate where he's going to end up, where he ended up at. Your thoughts on that situation, just as a whole. Then on the back burner, of course, the situation that we all know that he's in with the allegations of sexual harassment and so on and so forth. Why is it that we're seeing more and more athletes get involved in this kind of crap? And unfortunately, to me anyway, it seems like they're getting a slap in the hand and going on their way.
Um, well, if you look at it just football, nothing else, great addition to the team.
Oh, absolutely,
He's a
absolutely.
very good player. One of the best quarterbacks in the league. I think locker room wise, the players respect him and like him, which is crazy to say, but they do because they're all, they're all in their little football realm
Hmm.
together. And I think they really respect him. They really like him. I think it'll work out for them. I think it'll be really good. But again, like I said, at what cost is it going to be good? Because I feel like the NFL is always an uncomfortable space for women to begin with. And they don't do a good job of making it any more comfortable. If anything, they push more people away. And it sucks. It's really sad to see,
Yeah.
because women, it's not just women, like anybody, when they say things about sexual assault, when they try to go to the police about it, when they try to take these things to like any kind of law, it usually gets shot down. And the women are always told they're liars, they're always like ridiculed, they're criticized, and it's like scary, for a woman to speak up about something like that because like the backlash you're going to face. And I just feel really bad for the women that are involved because I'm sure they get a lot of backlash right now.
Hmm.
And it sucks because there's a lot of people I really enjoy on my football team, and then I feel like, can I cheer for them? Can I even root for them? Because it feels wrong. And even if you do root for them, you'll have other men on the internet that attack you and say, oh, well, you're supporting this. I'm like, well, I'm not. It just sucks. Like, I didn't choose for this. None of the women in our fan base chose for this. So you can't put that on us. And then the jokes that they make is just really like gross. I feel like a lot of people don't care about the women that are involved. They just want to get their
Yeah.
jokes across. I'm like, that's not cool either, because that's not helping
Right.
anybody. So I just think it's a mess. It's not very fun, but they will be better. And that's how I feel about it.
I like it. I think excuse me, I think it's a situation that unfortunately I think a lot of people, and if we really want to know behind the scenes, I'm sure not just Deshaun and not just we all know, Adrian Peterson, we all, everybody, I'm sure not every player obviously is someone like that, but I'm sure that goes on a lot more than we probably realize. But
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, but it's an issue I think that a lot of people, um, I think it is definitely a topic that needs to be, especially it needs to be addressed. And I believe it will get there, and hopefully it all works out. And and for Cleveland fans and you yourself, hopefully the Deshaun Watson will, hopefully that trade will work out for you guys. Obviously, upgrades the quarterback position by far,
Mm-hmm.
and you never know. Maybe Deshaun Watson will be winning the MVP,
Oh God,
and
that would be a disaster. Oh, imagine. Like
oh
if
my
he's gonna
god.
I really could not take it, If he's gonna win games, so be it. But MVP is where I draw the fucking line. I don't think I would be able to deal with it. And not even just like I wouldn't even not even just from him. I don't even care. I don't even, like whatever. If
Right.
he's MVP, so be it. He's already gonna play. I can't do anything. I can't stop it at this point. But for my own well-being and for all the other women in Cleveland, Ohio, I'm hoping that man is not MVP. I'm hoping that man is not MVP. So, that would be a bad day.
I don't think I would.
God, that would be so bad.
I'm not going to go out on a limb, but I'm gonna pretty much. I would bet that that's not going to
Yeah, like
happen.
let's not do that. Letting him play is already crossing the line.
Absolutely.
But then to go MVP route, I just don't think that's the best look. And like it's not funny, but I just can't help but laugh, It's just like it's just on
Well,
brand.
it's it's a
It's something.
it's one of those things that we all know he shouldn't be playing. Well, at least most of us should know that. Um, should know that if he shouldn't be playing. But anyway, it's one of those stories that real quick that will that I could just see this guy that shouldn't be playing in the league wins the MVP, goes on to win Super Bowl, and blah 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 blah. The rest is history. It's just kind of written. Do I think it's going to happen? Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, and no disrespect to Cleveland and the fans of Cleveland, but I don't. Excuse me. I don't think Cleveland's in the position to win a Super Bowl.
I don't think so either, because if we have Jacoby Brissett out there for 6 games, no hate to him. I just don't know how that's gonna go. But I will say, like, we played with average quarterback play and we were decent. So who's to say? Case Keenum won 2 games. God. It's just a joke.
Real quick to wrap up the show, your thoughts on the NFL getting involved in the Olympics, trying to bring football back to the Olympics in 2028 or 2028, but not just football. We're talking flag football.
See, I saw a lot of people really mad about it. And to be honest, why does it matter?
I don't watch the Olympics, so to me, I don't really care. It's interesting. I think I know I posted about it or tweeted about it. I'm kind of I don't really know how I feel about it because first off, I don't watch the Olympics, and I'm not trying to be not patriotic, but I just don't watch the Olympics.
I mean, I watch certain events. I watch like the gymnastics. I'm not gonna watch basketball because I know that they're gonna win. I don't really care to watch it.
Right.
I'll watch swimming sometimes, and yeah, I'll watch gymnastics. That's what I watch.
Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I used to watch softball. Softball was awesome.
Hmm.
And then they said, let's take that away. So, I mean, if they want to do flag football, who am I to say no?
I won't be trying out, but but
Right. See, I'm not going to be
I mean,
involved, nor
no,
will I say it's going to be terrible. I'm just, I guess indifferent is the best way to say.
I like it.
But I think doing that, though, I do think doing that might introduce more countries to the game itself. So I do like that and grow opportunities for other people in different places.
Well, especially with them trying to go into Germany
Mm,
and play in there, I think would help. I mean, it
yeah,
can't hurt the league any much.
right.
So, I mean, I'm on the fence. It to me, if they do, which I'm sure they will,
Hmm.
cool. If not, cool. I
Yeah,
don't really care.
just another day.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna, you know,
Hmm.
your thoughts real quick, To. Hot take, not really hot takes, just random thoughts. To coming back out of retirement to play in the Fan Controls Football League.
Okay, so I met him at the Super Bowl. I did an interview with him. He was terrifying, I will say. He was so tall and so scary. Like I had to
Right.
look up at him. When I went to interview him, I was standing on one side. He said, "You got to scooch over to the other." I was like, "Okay, I'm sorry." Like, I'm sorry. He was like, "That's my good side, and you can't stand on that one." I'm like, "Okay, I won't. I'll stand on the other side." But that was my
Oh
good side.
God.
He was very nice and funny, but he was a lot. But it's on brand for him, and he
Well, of
scared me,
course.
and I almost wanted to cry. He was so scary, but he was cool. He was cool. He was cool. I'm
I like
sure
that.
he looks like he's ready to play, so I'm sure he'll be fine.
It's a bunch of ammo. I mean, he'll rock it out. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, yeah, he'll be fine.
It's good for a league that's trying to get a name. I mean, that's cool. I mean, I'm all about
They got
that.
Johnny Manziel, my guy.
Hey, Baker's 2.0, Johnny.
Sure.
To an
Um,
extent.
yeah, they should put Baker Mayfield and Johnny Manziel on College Game Day and call it a day, and put Tim Tebow in the middle.
Next to Tim Tebow.
Hmm. That would be
Random.
awesome. I would watch. Every Saturday.
You never know. That may happen eventually.
I think it'd be. I think all of them would be good in broadcasting.
I think now, see, Baker, I could definitely see him
Yeah,
broadcasting.
100%. He'd be really good. His commercials are great.
Hey, he's more of an actor.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Johnny, I think, would show up drunk, but that'd be
I mean,
hilarious.
that's the brand, you know.
Exactly. It's Johnny. I
Hmm.
like Johnny, though.
Yeah, me too.
Random.
I mean, yeah.
Excuse me. No, I like him. I mean, it's Johnny. And I know we probably shouldn't talk, but Johnny, people have to realize he's the first freshman to win a Heisman. It got to him.
The ego was big. He
Oh,
had a lot of
absolutely.
money. He, yeah.
We know he was getting money on the table from A&M. We know that.
100%. That school's a cult, anyways.
Oh god, yeah. And their fans are obnoxious.
They all wear those stupid little striped polos. I'm sorry. I'm a big hater. I'm a big college in general hater.
I don't like A&M. I despise of them. I just their fans. I don't know. A few random questions for you, um, courtesy of a good buddy of mine, because he just likes random questions. If you had to write a book, what would it be about?
Oh, if I had to write a book, what would it be about? So I always joke about like I have situations in my life that I should just like write a book eventually because there's no way that all these things should happen to somebody. Like the most random, outrageous things always happen to me, and it would just probably be just a life experience book, a tell all, because there's a lot to
Oh, that'd be
tell.
cool.
There's a lot to tell.
That would be. I would definitely buy that one. I'm sure you got a lot of stories.
Oh, I've been writing them down. They're just too like some of them are just so ridiculous that you just wouldn't think that would happen. Like the other day, I'll tell you one. I'll throw one in. If I ever have a book, this story will be in there. I was on FaceTime, I was crying. Ignore that part. It's whatever.
Right.
I get into an elevator in an apartment building. Um, and then behind me walks in Rajon Rondo. He gets in the elevator while I'm crying. And then I get off my floor to go, and he goes, "Well, I hope you have a better night." Started crying more.
Did you cry more after he said that, or
Yes. Oh, yes. Mhm.
was it one of those cries like you see in the movie where it's like doesn't matter who the person that's currently crying kind of stopped, wiped their tears, hoping that that one person says something nicer, and they realize they really didn't say anything. Well, I mean, no, I shouldn't say it shouldn't say anything bad, but it's like, oh, that didn't help me at all, and continue to bawl.
Yeah, it was just a situation that just did. I mean, it was very nice of him, but it just really set me over. And I don't really cry that often, so that it was just a lot at once.
I like it. Last one, he got too many. I'm not gonna say all of them. Given some of them are just weird. Given the choice of anyone in the world, who would you want to have dinner with as a guest?
LeBron.
See, I think LeBron would be cool,
Hmm.
just because not only from a basketball standpoint, but I like to pick his brain for other topics as well. I think you have, to me at least, would get good insight. Maybe not. I don't know.
Right. Maybe Serena Williams. That'd be cool.
Ooh. Hmm. What about Johnny
Simone Biles,
Football?
maybe. See, I feel like these ones are like attainable. You could walk down the street and see Johnny Manziel. You know what I mean? Like
We
you just
probably
be
see him in the
bar
bar.
right. You'd be bar hopping and he'd just be there. So
God dang it. See,
so
what
that's
if
what
I
I would
had to
do.
pick? Probably Shaq, because I think Shaq would just be hilarious.
My friends during All Star, because NBA All Star was here,
Hmm.
they went to some restaurant for like brunch one of the days, and Shaq walked in behind them, and they were in front of him waiting for a table, and there were no tables available. And Shaq goes, "They're with me, get him a table," and then just got him a freaking table at the brunch place. So he seems like a cool guy. That's a good choice.
I could see that. I could see Shaq, because I bet he has a lot of stories.
Oh, he's a
And
wild guy. Yeah.
oh, that dude. And it's another player, his son, what was it, LSU? Before I think he finally transferred somewhere. Some of these kids, they're just not, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's random questions, but we'll wrap the show on that. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule and
Yeah, for
coming
sure.
on. And any plans for the rest of the week that you have on your agenda?
My plans are to watch my baseball team from my couch.
Opening day tomorrow, Guardians.
Hmm.
Now, how I know we're off topic. Last one. How weird is it the Guardians? Has that still got to you, or do you still say Indians at times?
I mean, like I try to say Guardians every time. Sometimes I slip up and I say like last night on my show, me and my
Hmm.
co-host Bree, we both said and we're like, oh shit. So I mean, it's not really taking anything to get used to, but just
No.
sometimes it just comes out too fast. And I've seen people like on MLB Network do it too. It's just is what it is. But yeah, I'm excited for them, even though they're cheap.
Are they?
Yeah, we had to scream, cry, and beg for them to pay Jose Ramirez, so they finally did it today.
Who's cheapest? I'm a big baseball guy. Who do you think's more cheapest, the Rockies or the Guardians?
Oh, Guardians for sure.
God dang.
Well, before Jose, we only spent 700,000 this offseason.
Wow.
Mhm. And that's with players on our current team too. That was all the money that they added. It's like, well, shit. What are you guys waiting for? And it took all until this afternoon for them to sign Jose. Well, not sign him, extend him. And that at least they did that because at least they didn't do what they did with Francisco Lindor. That was a mess. So, no.
Fine. Prediction. We'll end this on that note. Prediction for the Cleveland Guardians for the 2022 season.
See, I want to put them under 500. I do. I don't know how many games that is. It's like 80. I want to put them under 80
Yeah.
wins. I want them to be very good, and I hope that they exceed these expectations like the Cavs did. But I'm gonna go with the safe bet, and I'm gonna go with 80, around 75 to 80 wins.
So I have them at 82.
Yep, sounds about right.
So I got my Yankees at 92. So I don't think they'll do much this year, but we'll see.
And I know I said I don't bet, but tomorrow I am putting just a little tiny bit of money on Jose Ramirez to hit a home run because it just seems right because we extended him.
Well, for you, I hope that happens.
Thanks. Thanks.
Opening day for me has to wait till Friday, but I'll definitely
Mhm.
enjoy some baseball from my office tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just don't say my boss. But anyway, looking podcast dropping tonight sometime here in the next hour or two. But thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and enjoy opening day and have a wonderful rest of your week.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure. One half of the unsportsmanlike podcast, if I can say that right.
Yep, that's
Miss
it.
Gabb, go. It's a long day. We'll
It's
end
a
it
long
on
day.
there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow night, but listen to all major podcast platforms, and we will see you later.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for having me on.